What does money mean to you? Do you want to start earning money? Do you wish you had more of it? Are you buried in mountains of debt? Do you feel like you're juggling school and work, and somehow you're still not able to make enough money or save enough money to survive, much less save up for your own home one day? No matter your situation, if you want to get started on your journey so you can save more, earn more, and budget better, learning about personal finance and having the right money mindset can be life-changing. And since financial literacy wasn't something I was formally taught in school and I had to figure out a lot on my own, this is something that means a lot to me. But first, I'm curious, did you learn financial literacy in school? Let me know in the comments. In today's video, I'll uncover my take on one critical thing that's a foundational aspect of personal finance and money mindset, but that a lot of students and beginners miss. The result? You lose out on making more money. Now, we all know that money isn't everything, but it's important. And for every single person, it means something different. For some students, money means luxury and freedom, trips to must-see sites in Europe, online shopping and buying whatever you want, luxury fashion and having the latest iPad or tech. Or maybe you feel trapped by your financial situation. Wherever you lie on this spectrum, it's hard to deny money matters. Check this out. Before the 1930s, the value of $1 was backed by something called the gold standard. So this meant that people could go to any bank and exchange their paper money for a specific amount of gold. Yes, actual gold. However, this gold standard was abandoned in the 1930s. Nowadays, our currency is mostly paper and digital. Studies actually show that cash transactions represent only a small proportion of overall payments, with most transactions now being conducted electronically. No surprise there. Let me address the elephant in the room. I can't cover digital money without mentioning cryptocurrency, but I really won't dive into that too much today for, well, plenty of reasons. Cryptocurrency essentially is a digital or virtual currency that operates independently of a central bank. So it rose in popularity due to its potential for anonymity, decentralization, meaning it's not controlled by any one single individual or organization like the bank or government, and fast transaction time. But there's also a higher level of risk and volatility. Think fast, unpredictable shifts in price, both up and down. In any case, whether it's coins, paper, or digital money, money is crucial to our everyday lives. If you've ever had to decide between going out to eat with friends or staying home with a cup of instant noodles, you've probably experienced firsthand how money can be a source of stress. The good news is that you're here and you're taking a step towards wealthier habits. So have you ever wondered how much money is enough money? Or maybe you've never thought about it, or maybe you think, well, the more the better. Thing is, every person has their own barometer of what's enough, what's too little, and even what's too much. Yes, there might be such a thing. There's a well-known 2010 study by Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton that found that people's well-being reached a peak or a point of saturation once they earned a minimum of about $75,000. You can imagine this myth blazed through the internet, and all of a sudden, $75,000 became the magic bullseye at which to aim your bow. But then new research came out that disputes this. This new information asserts that there is no evidence that your satisfaction plateaus at $75,000. In fact, as your income rises, so can your happiness, so $75K isn't really that magical a number. And when there's conflicting information, it isn't easy to determine what goals to set. I mean, who are you supposed to believe? When I was a student, if you asked me what my financial goals were, I'd probably look at you as if you had fire-breathing dragons coming out of your head. It didn't occur to young me to put a number to it. I mean, how would you even do that? Also, come on, what else would you expect from someone who only ever had to think about maximizing their GPA, classical piano recitals, and landing strong volunteer roles? Here are some steps I wish someone taught me earlier to set financial goals. Number 1. Are you on thick, sturdy ice, or is it thin enough to crack under your feet at any minute? First things first, we have to figure out if you're on thin ice and about to crash into freezing water, or if you're on solid footing. So to gauge whether you're in a good spot, you'll want to take stock of A, your monthly income, B, your burn rate, aka your monthly expenses, and C, your assets. And this can be anything that you own and can sell, or anything that makes you money. Examples are always helpful, so here's how to figure that out. Income is whatever you're making from part-time jobs, side hustles, or however else you're making money. Add that all up. Maybe you're making, say, $1,000 a month. Burn rate is your monthly expenses. If you live at home and your parents buy your food, that helps a lot. More of that money can go into savings. No, not another pair of sneakers that you don't need. Now, your monthly expenses can cover things like food, eating out, coffee, housing, books, school supplies, tuition, transportation, shopping, entertainment like Netflix, games, bowling, and more. Maybe you're spending $1,000 a month, for example, on your burn rate, on your monthly expenses. If you're earning $1,000 but then spending $1,000, you're essentially zeroing out and leaving nothing for savings. Not an ideal situation. But wait, before you start attacking me, you might be thinking, well, I'm a full-time student and I just need to focus on school. I don't have time for a part-time job. And you know what? Hey, that is fair enough. That is up to you to decide. If your primary focus is school and school needs your complete, undivided attention, I'm looking at you, med students, that's a different story. Now, let's talk about assets. This can be tricky because students generally don't start off with much in terms of assets. If you're wondering what an asset is, here's a very quick breakdown and a few simple examples. If you own a condo, that's a real estate asset. If you own a stock, that's a financial asset. Next, we have step 2, which is identifying your goals. You want to determine what you want to achieve financially, and if you don't know what that means or how to do that, that is completely okay. Here are a few goals that many students want to achieve. Do you want to save for a trip? Maybe you want to pay a visit to Hawaii or Italy or something like that. Maybe you want to have enough to put down a down payment on a house. Maybe you want to pay off any student loans or save for retirement. Be specific and set some deadlines for achieving your goals. Basically, we have 3 major categories of financial goals, according to FINRA. Short-term financial goals are goals that should take less than 3 years to accomplish. This can include things like securing your first job, maximizing your income, saving up for first and last month's rent of your own place in downtown Toronto because Toronto is not a cheap place to live. Maybe you're looking at a grad trip to Switzerland, or maybe even establishing an emergency fund. These goals are more immediate and can provide a sense of accomplishment and motivation to keep moving forward. In the middle, we've got midterm financial goals, which take about 3 to 10 years to achieve. These can include saving for a down payment on a house or starting a side business to supplement your income once you graduate. These goals require a bit more focus and dedication, but they are not out of reach. And finally, last but not least, we've got our long-term financial goals, which take over 10 years to accomplish. This is more along the lines of saving for retirement or even paying off a mortgage. These goals may seem daunting and far off into the future, but it's not a bad idea to start thinking about them now. Instead of scrambling and panicking last minute, which then leads to bad decisions, if you've got a solid plan now and make a consistent effort, they can be achieved with less anxiety and less overwhelm. Now that you're armed with some financial know-how, let me know what kinds of financial goals will you be setting. Hey there! Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more, I hope you'll consider giving this video a like, a share, subscribing, or maybe even hitting that notification bell. Live your best day today, and I'll see you next time.